During their press conference, Gervonta Tank Davis showed Frank Martin an old sparring video. Later, in a podcast interview, Tank poked fun at Frank Martin and disclosed the real reason behind their sparring.
The sparring, look, this
he
the
didn't
thing.
touch me up.
Did you touch me up?
First of all,
what was the sparring like?
First of all,
you
you were scared to get in the ring.
See what Frank Martin had to say when he later offered his version of events, disclosing what was in the sparring footage.
What was he trying to break down?
Nothing, some sparring that wasn't even nothing. He ain't even show nothing.
Yeah, I feel you.
On June 15th, the fighters will square off in their first professional fight, but what is the real story behind the sparring footage? Keep an eye out for what the two fighters have to say in today's video. Vain ahead of Tank's eagerly anticipated comeback to the boxing ring in June. Davis and Frank Martin have been at odds recently. Their animosity intensified when Tanks hit Martin during the most recent press conference.
Once again, things heating up already for this main event in WBA Lightweight Championship of the World. Fighters, take your seats.
Additionally, a Tank was seen playing Martin in their previous sparring video, in which Martin appeared to take a beating from the WBA lightweight champion. Davis boldly asserted that the video demonstrated his dominance in the ring, claiming that he touched up Martin, meaning he hit him with precise, powerful blows. Using the sparring video to establish himself as the clear favorite and sow doubt in Martin's mind ahead of their upcoming fight, the undefeated champion maintained a confident demeanor while trying to intimidate Martin. Frank Martin, however, was unfazed and flatly refuted Davis's interpretation of events, maintaining that his opponent had deliberately chosen a small portion of the sparring session to skew the results. The story Martin insisted that David exaggerated the video's significance to support his own image, and that he didn't touch me up. He also emphasized that the sparring session was just a typical training exchange, and that, in Martin's opinion, nothing particularly remarkable happened. All Davis is trying to do is build himself up and make his opponent look bad. Martin countered that sparring is essentially a tool for improving ideas and skills, rather than a conclusive indicator of a boxer's prowess or likely results in real competition, pointing out that Davis had only selected a small portion of their training from the film to construct a false narrative. Martin said that Davis intended to generate excitement and commotion surrounding the leaked video, aware that the public and media would seize upon any apparent Martin looked steady and composed, reiterating his readiness to face Davis in the ring and stressing that this sparring footage wouldn't affect his focus or preparation for the fight. By creating drama in this way, Davis could gain a psychological advantage over Martin before they even entered the ring. Drawing near, although the two fighters are still exchanging blows, Martin is unwavering in his conviction that he can defeat Davis's psychological game and establish himself as the superior fighter. In a separate interview, Contender discussed the heated press conference and noted that both of their energies were genuine and not manufactured. It wasn't faked or scripted. It was all natural. Martin hinted at the deep-seated rivalry between them, saying that the animosity was palpable during their exchange, especially at the end of the press conference when Davis attempted to show Martin the clip of their sparring session. Despite the controversy surrounding the leaked sparring video, Martin believes it will ultimately serve as just another chapter in the intense rivalry between these two elite fighters. The sparring video controversy was swiftly dismissed by Martin, who emphasized that sparring is not a reliable predictor of fight results because we're currently fighting, and this is where it matters most. When asked if the heated atmosphere between them originated from gym encounters, Martin responded by emphasizing his focus on the match rather than training footage, arguing that sparring is just practice where fighters can have good or bad days without it reflecting their actual skills. He reiterated that the true test would come on fight night when everything is on the line. Martin proposed that the reason for the conflict is because Davis is aware of the true difficulty he is facing and knows he has stated something genuine. Martin implied that Davis sensed his opponent's seriousness and commitment. Martin attributed their confrontation to their alpha personalities, which naturally clash when faced with competition. Martin acknowledged that Davis and his team are judging him based on that performance, but he remained unfazed. Martin told fans that he and his team have a game plan for everything and are confident in their strategies and preparation. Martin conveyed his readiness to take on Davis and overcome any tactical challenges.
They always say people, you gonna always be judged off your last performance, right? So they judge me off that, so it's cool. You know, I got another performance June 15th, and then.
In the end, Martin is determined to prove himself to Davis and is keen to change the subject from sparring disputes to an actual fight for him. The June 15th game is a chance for him to prove his value and offset Davis's psychological maneuvers with a strong S in the ring. Both fighters stayed true to their training for the much-awaited fight, despite the most recent sparring dispute between Tank and Frank Martin. With a perfect 290 record, Davis views this fight as another chance to solidify his position as the undisputed champion and carry on his legacy as the only fighter in boxing history to go undefeated and achieve 27 knockouts. Martin, on the other hand, is 180 and hopes to use his explosive style and strength to overwhelm Davis and make a lasting impression on the boxing world. Martin stresses that Davis is in a position where he wants to be, acknowledging Davis's reputation and the task that lies ahead, but he is unfazed, viewing the fight as an opportunity to further his career and confirm his ambitions. Martin feels that defeating Davis handily would solidify his place among the best. In the end, the contender, their animosity has only gotten stronger as a result of their pre-fight verbal sparring, which is setting the stage for larger fights in the future. Martin is still confident. In spite of Davis' psychological maneuvers, which involved selectively releasing the sparring footage, both fighters are concentrating on their game plans, understanding that the battle would demand mental toughness and exact execution. The combination of Martin's tenacity and Davis's expertise made for an exciting battle, and the controversies leading up to the match increased fan excitement and raised the stakes. Both fighters are keen to follow their game plans as the fight approaches, knowing that one significant victory or defeat can change their respective careers and legacies. Ultimately, they want to win the true battle in the ring. The boxing community has also been discussing and making predictions about the fight. Andre Rozier, a former professional boxer, recently offered his thoughts and predictions regarding the bout. Rozier, who is close to Davis and lovingly refers to him as his nephew, has shown his unflinching support for Davis in every match, including the one that is rumored to be against Martin.
It's going to be an excellent fight, but I'm always fan of my nephew, Gervonta, against everybody, and I'm always going to be in it.
Although Rozier respected Frank Martin as a fighter, he also underlined that Martin must perform at an extraordinarily high level in order to have any chance against Davis. He compared the performance required to going from a Hyundai to a Lexus or Genesis, suggesting that only elite boxing would be adequate against a fighter of Davis's caliber. When talking about the importance of sparring sessions in getting ready for real fights, Rozier expressed doubt about Martin's capacity to withstand Davis' strength and force, implying that Davis would ultimately prevail if the fight took place. Rozier brushed down the relevance of rumors that said Martin had defeated Davis in a prior sparring session. He claimed that sparring is more about honing one's trade and skills than it is about predicting how a genuine fight would go. The dynamics of a competitive bout differ greatly from those of sparring, when competitors may not necessarily be giving their all to win, unlike in a sanctioned competition. Rozier's bout forecast is based on his faith in Davis's skills as well as his appreciation of Martin's talent, stressing the value of experience and power in the ring. According to Rozier's study, Davis would have the advantage over Martin in a fight because of his experience, strength, and capacity for performance under pressure. The adult showbiz also offered his thoughts on this battle. Rozier's observations are a reflection of his profound knowledge of the sport and his personal relationship with Davis. They offer a unique perspective on a highly anticipated future bout in the lightweight category of boxing.
Gervonta Tank Davis will be facing the ghost, Frank Martin, June. Yeah! That's the shit I'm talking about!
Showbiz expressed excitement for the match, stating that Frank Martin is the perfect warm-up for Davis before they take on Devin. The American Dream Haney emphasized the importance of this bout for Davis as a strategic step towards greater difficulties rather than just another fight, especially a battle with Han. Since Martin is not a heavy puncher and instead relies more on his boxing skills and economy of punches, Showbiz noted that Martin's fighting style, which is marked by a high IQ, great movement, and the ability to fight off his back foot, presents a unique challenge for Davis. As a result, Davis may need to adopt a more aggressive boxing strategy in order to close the distance and engage effectively. Showbiz's analysis goes beyond the tactical matchup and explores the implications of the fight's outcome for Davis's future. He made assumptions about the significance of Davis acclimating to fighting at 140 pounds, speculating that, depending on how their anticipated bout plays out, a victory over Martin at this weight could be a useful warm-up for a matchup with Haney or even Ryan Garcia. The boxing world is eagerly anticipating this fight, and the latest drama between these two things has heated up, making for an entertaining clash. But who do you think will win? Let us know in the comments section. That's it for today. Don't forget to like. Showbiz conveyed a sense of anticipation for the Davis vs. Martin fight, emphasizing its potential to answer questions about Davis's ability to handle fighters with a style similar to Martin's. He expressed a keen interest in observing how Davis would adapt to Martin's slick, intelligent boxing, and whether this fight could set the stage for Davis to face other top contenders in the lightweight division, as well as join the channel. To ensure that you never miss out on videos like these, turn on the bell for the most recent notifications. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you in the next one.